Hello everyone and welcome to our latest Whirlwind Heights Forecast Center updates. And in this forecast, we're going to discuss the significance of your weather that is coming to the country today and tomorrow, where we can see a couple of different tornadoes, some relatively significant damaging winds, and some relatively significant large hail. We're also going to discuss the tropical activity that's heating up in the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, and we're also going to talk about any kind of wildfire or excessive rainfall outlook today, and we're going to try to discuss the heat. So, without much more to talk about in this intro, let's wait 1 second. So, I plan on making my forecast shorter, yet more detailed, so we can edit them more, but shorter forecast, not short forecast, but shorter forecast. We're talking 4 to 8 minute forecast, so that way you guys could have enough time to actually watch them, because a lot of my forecasts these days are 15 minutes or more, so I plan on significantly decreasing the time. Alright, without much more to talk about in this intro, let's roll the forecast. Alright guys, and we're going to begin with our significance of the weather over the next few days, starting off with today, which we have a triple barrel slight risk of severe weather. One here in Colorado, in eastern Colorado, another one in Arkansas, another one in the Ohio Valley. We have a 5% tornado risk here in northern Indiana, a 15% wind risk. There's a hatching here that goes into New Mexico, and a hail risk for eastern Colorado. That's a significant, probably our biggest risk of the day. The one that's driving our slight risk. And then tomorrow, it doesn't seem to be much, but we do have a slight risk here in Pennsylvania and New York. Our tornado risk tomorrow is a 2% for New York, specifically eastern New York. We have a 15% damaging wind risk, no hatching there. We do have a hatching over here in Nebraska into Colorado again, but it's a 5% hatching, so yeah, pretty interesting there. Alright, and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, yeah, they're not looking at much. Alright, now we're gonna go over our excessive rainfall outlooks. Starting off with today, which we got a big slight risk of excessive rainfall here in the western Dixie Alley today. So if you live in this area, be sure to have a flooding action ready to go. I mean, don't panic about it. Obviously, it's not that significant, but have an action plan ready to go, because tomorrow is basically the exact same areas. So this could actually be equivalent to that of a moderate risk when you come to think of it. And the Friday, that goes down into the south. I mean, this is kind of concerning here. Over the next 3 days, it looks like we're going to continue to see flooding down here in the excessive rainfall down here in the Dixie Alley. Alright, and now we're going to go over our fire risk, which we have a critical fire risk today in northeastern California, northwestern Nevada, and southern Oregon. So if you live in this red area, be sure that you're ready. Be sure that you have an action plan just in case you need to evacuate. And be sure you're careful with anything that can spark a fire. I also wouldn't recommend camping today, especially if you live in that red area. And these same areas are under a critical fire risk tomorrow, except that just goes more into Oregon. Moving past that, let's go over the tropical storm risk here in the Atlantic Ocean, which we are anticipating a tropical storm here to form, which we have a 70% chance of development in the next 48 hours and a 70% chance of development in the next 7 days. And this could very easily become it can somewhat become a hurricane too. Some of the spaghetti models show this becoming a Category 1 hurricane, and it keep. I mean, most of them keep it at a tropical storm, but it's something that we'll see. Here in the Pacific Ocean, we have just so much that's going on here. We have overlapping tropical storm threats here in the Pacific Ocean. We have a 0% chance of development in the next 7 days or 48 hours, and a 50% chance of development in the next week. This tropical disturbance right here. This tropical disturbance, we have a 70% chance of development in the next 48 hours, and a 90% chance of development in the next week. So right now, the highest tropical disturbance out there. This tropical storm right here is Tropical Storm Iselle, which is anticipated to weaken down to a tropical depression and eventually to completely weaken. Right here is a 40% chance of development in the next 48 hours, a 70% chance of development in the next 7 days. So again, I mean, that could actually track towards Hawaii. Actually, look at that. Tropical Storm Lala is still going. Even after all this time, it's still going. And then we have a 20% chance of development in the next week here southeast of Hawaii. Alright, so if you live here in the Pacific Ocean, mainly in this corridor where we're seeing all that activity, or if you not live, but if you are planning on traveling through that area. Alright, so if you're planning on traveling through this area here in the Pacific Ocean, specifically this area right here, I would be planning to, just in case you need to delay your plan or cancel it, because I wouldn't be driving through conditions like a Category 2 hurricane or anything like that. Alright, let's just go over the jet stream now. Alright, and now let's go over these tropical storms in more detail. Again, this is Tropical Storm Lala, which is definitely weakened down from a hurricane. Previously was a Category 4. But we have another hurricane that's just going to track directly behind it. No, this is the wrong one. This is Tropical Storm Iselle. Apologies. This is Tropical Storm Iselle, and the GFS is showing a tropical storm tracking directly through the same areas, this time stronger, which is definitely a possibility. Alright, and then we have a tropical storm. Again, the GFS is showing this going straight into Hawaii. But this is a real issue, guys. The big island of Hawaii literally just took a direct hit, or not a direct hit, but it was literally just took major impacts from Tropical Storm Lala, and literally the exact same can happen. But we are unclear of this. Maybe this will shift northeast, earlier or later, so, I mean, hopefully that happens. Jet stream in the United States, which there's a bridge here in the central United States, which we're going to talk about here in a second, but I'm going to continue to see some of these micro drop injections. It does show at one point a big drop injection, which would easily lead to significant severe weather, and that ridge in the United States breaking. Alright, now let's go over that ridge, or the temperature anomalies, which we got some significant heat coming to the United States over the next few days. As you can see here, we're talking temperatures up to 25 degrees Fahrenheit above average here in the Great Plains. And then it could heat up to be 27 degrees above average, somewhere around that. And possibly even up to 30 degrees Fahrenheit above average. Golly, it's hot up there. It's going to be hot out here all across the Great Plains. Like, it's a very widespread area that's going to take a hit from this massive heat wave. And real quick, I'm going to circle the areas that are going to be impacted by this heat wave. These are the areas, and then, yeah. Alright, so that will be it for today's forecast. Hopefully you guys did enjoy today's forecast. If you did, share the forecast so that way we can spread the word. And, I mean, I'm not sure how short this was, but it's probably shorter than some of my other forecasts. And we'll see you guys in the next one.